Hello everybody, welcome back to the Pokemon Leafgreen Nuzlocke. Just to give you a little refresher of my team here, I decided I am going to use Lumpy. I got Jolty, Elephant, and Fred. Probably won't use Gary, but that's still TBD. Can't remember who I fought over here. Alright, so we got a few more to fight over here. So we just basically have a lot of trainers to fight this episode. Which is always fun, because, you know, it can be very dangerous. Like this guy, if he uses self-destruct or explosion, I'm gonna scream. Just try to put him to sleep. Sludge. So we gotta remember, Snorlax does have weak or very low defense, so it is very possible that he could kill us, especially since he's 3 levels higher, and we haven't actually used Snorlax like at all yet, so he's pretty weak. He doesn't have any of those EVs, those bonus points. He's like brand new to our team. I used a couple of super potions on him, but I did not go back and heal, which I probably should. But that's okay. We took him out. We got really lucky with that sleep, unlike with the Kangaskhan fight with Giovanni. Alright, so level 31, pretty good. I think I'll wait. I won't go back and heal yet. Maybe I'll switch him out for somebody. Or I could use Rest and Snore. See what his team is like. Mankey. Okay. Mankey could do some damage because he's fighting type. And our defense is really weak. So I'm going to switch him out. Let's go with Fred. We're at like a really dangerous point in the game. Because we're at a point where we do not really have a strong team anymore. We only really have 3 long members who have been with us for a long time. Snorlax, like I said, doesn't have those EVs yet, so he's pretty weak. Also, we're at a point, obviously, as you can see, where all of these Pokemon that we're fighting are around our same level, which, you know, it's just it's always dangerous, but I still am pretty determined to not grind. I feel like if I'm just gonna grind out levels, then what's really the point of this challenge? I don't think like making it so you just grind a lot is really challenging in games. I really hate when games do that, where that's like the only place where the challenge is by forcing you to grind. Like, that's not really a challenge to me. It's just tedious. I don't mind grinding sometimes, like for a level or two. Like, you know, I'm playing NeoQuest 2, and that game is really grindy. But, you know, I don't love it when that's the focus, you know? I don't really play games where it's just all about grinding. NeoQuest 2 is kind of like that, but it's also, oh man, it's a little special just because it's such a like a unique game, and I just have a lot of nostalgia for it. Ooh, come on, yeah. All right, don't poison me. That is all I need right now. I'm just so worried every time I verse a Wheezy now that he's gonna use self-destruct or worse, explosion. I don't know if he actually has it, but it seems like if they have other options that are effective, they won't do that. Like if, like for example with, Belbert, you know, we were reversing the Electrode, and Electrode is electric type, so he probably didn't have a lot of moves that were effective against Belbert. So I feel like that's probably why that happened. I'm hesitant to like switch out to Elephant for that reason though, because like if you use a self-destruct, Elephant will die 100%. Like there's no question. So I'm gonna try resting and using Snore for a little bit, because we're out of strength. We're gonna have to go back to the Pokemon Center. I didn't really want to because I can't go to the Pokemon Center in Celadon directly without hitting the other Snorlax, so I guess I can just fly there and then we can hit that Snorlax up on the way back. We don't need to catch it, obviously. We already have one. So I don't know if I want to bother trying to beat it. I mean, we probably could. I don't think it's like... I mean, we know it's not going to be super strong, so I think it would be fine. Alright, this guy doesn't seem like he's going to use self-destruct. So let's bring in Elephant here. He might not even have it. But I think we'll kill him first anyway, so it doesn't really matter. There we go. Alright. So yeah, let's go to Celadon. We'll hit up Snorlax on the way back. I guess we can try and defeat it. We can use either our Snorlax or Fred should be good to do that. I've been playing a lot of Emerald lately. You know, I've talked about how the reason I'm playing this game is to complete the Gen 3 Pokedex. But I've just been kind of slowly playing Emerald. But I've been putting some more time into it recently. Man, that game is really good. Like, I didn't really remember how good it was, because it's always been one of my favorite gens, Gen 3. But whenever I would go to replay it, I usually would replay Ruby or Sapphire. And that's really only because I have more nostalgia for them. By the time Emerald came out, I felt like I was pretty done with the generation. And I'm gonna use Fred just to be safe. I really only played through Emerald like one time, and then I felt like I was good. So most of my memories were with Ruby and Sapphire. So when I went back and replayed them, I usually played Ruby or Sapphire. So it's been a long time since I played Emerald. Emerald came out in 2005, and I literally probably haven't played it since then. Like, at least all the way through. So it's been really cool going through it again. There are just so many things about it that make it so much better than a lot of other games. Like the gym leader rematches, and I think the Elite Four rematches too. I haven't even got into the post game. I've just been reading about it. You can like refight them, and they get different teams in like higher levels for like the first 5 times you refight them. Like, that's crazy. No other Pokemon game has done that, I don't think. Like, there's been rematches in later Pokemon games, but I don't think they changed that much. They would change one time and that would be it, if the game even have them. A lot of them don't. I think Black and White do, maybe Black and White 2 at least, and I'm pretty sure Platinum does, and I know Soul Silver does, but I'm pretty sure all of them are like one time. You don't get to refight them as like 5 times. That's crazy. And then of course you have the Battle Frontier, which everyone talks about. I never got super into the Battle Frontier because I never really got into like EV training and IV training and breeding and all that. That was all like very tedious to me. And you pretty much have to do that in order to get a good team, and like trying to get like the perfect moveset and stuff. It was really tedious in the old game, so I never really got into it. I would sometimes like go in with my in-game team and try to get far, but I would like never get very far, because I mean, if you weren't like if you weren't EV training and like going for good movesets at least, it was basically impossible. Man, like it's such an improvement over Ruby and Sapphire too. It makes me kind of upset that I've always went back to Ruby and Sapphire, because it's so much better. Another thing I never see talked about at all in it is that they give you the option to do double battles. Wow, this guy is a Machamp. They give you the option to do double battles on like almost every battle. It's awesome. Oh, and the gym leader rematches I was talking about apparently are also double battles. Like, wow. It's got the secret fight at the end with Steven. Like, mirroring the red fight in Gold and Silver. It's so cool. The only thing I'm not crazy about is that they replaced the champion with Wallace. I don't mind them replacing the champion, but I wish they would have went with a different type than the 8th gym leader, because now you just have like the 8th gym leader and the champion having the same type, which is just kind of weak in my opinion. But that's really my only complaint about in terms of like the changes. Otherwise, I mean, it's just fantastic. I need to get Snorlax back out here. I forgot. Ooh, I'm just so nervous these guys are going to use self-destruct or worse, explosion. So self-destruct has 150 base power, which is a lot. So when it got the crit on Belbert, that was 300 base power. Like, it's basically impossible to take out. I mean, you can see like Fred has 85 HP, and I'm sure he doesn't have the defense to make up for it. So, I mean, it's like impossible. Alright, I'm getting a little weak here, so I could probably last one more. Alright, cool. But yeah, so self-destruct has 150 base power, 300 when you get a crit. Explosion has 300 base power, and then if you got a crit, that would be 600. Like, it would be impossible for basically any of my Pokemon to stand up to that. Let's see. I guess I'll bring in Lumpy. I've also, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon in general, actually, because I also, on Mr. Game & Beard, my other channel, we've been playing through Gold and Silver a little bit more. At the same time, we're doing like a split screen playthrough of it. It's really fun. Definitely check that out. I'm playing Gold, Rob is playing Silver. That's been a lot of fun because I'm trying to use a team. I'm not doing a Nuzlocke over there, but I'm trying to use a team that I've never used before. Because I've played, those are like easily my most played games. Like Pokemon games, maybe games in general. So I've used a lot of them, but I'm trying to make sure I use like mostly ones I've never used before. At least ones I've never used in that gen. Maybe I've used them in another gen. Like I'm using Haunter, but I've used Haunter before, but I've never used them in that gen. I've only really used him in Gen 4 once you get, because he's way better when you get the physical special split. So that's been fun. And I also started Soul Silver just as like a casual playthrough on my own time. And man, like that game, that's another game, like I've never, whoops, alright, we gotta, shoot. I can't open the menu. Alright, that was scary. I was like, oh god, Fred's gonna die. You can't open the menu when you're going up, I guess. I have to remember once we start running out of antidotes to go grab some more of those. I'm just gonna fly back to Celadon, get a full heal in. We gotta stop being so risky. Yeah, Soul Silver. Everyone's always talked about how like Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the best Pokemon games. Like if you ask a lot of people that, probably the majority of them would say Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I know Black and White are very beloved too, as is Platinum. But I played Heart Gold and Soul Silver in 2010 when they came out. Those games got me back into Pokemon. So I was super into Gen 2, super into Ruby and Sapphire, like just as much as Gen 2. Honestly, like I said, Gold and Silver are my most played. Ruby and Sapphire are like right up there. If they're like at the same amount of time played, if not more. FireRed and Leafgreen came out, and I was starting to get out of it a little bit. Like I played through them like one time, and then I was done with them. Emerald came out, same thing, I got it. I played through it like one time, I was done. Diamond and Pearl came out, and I got them, but I didn't play very far in them at all. I got like Pearl, I think. and I didn't play very far at all. Platinum came out, and I did play it a lot. Well, I didn't play it a lot. I did play it more than Diamond and Pearl, I should say. But I remember basically like forcing myself to beat it. I was on a road trip from Florida to Michigan, and I wasn't driving because I was like 15. Yeah, 15. So I was pretty much just like forcing myself to play it, just because I wanted to like beat it, because I hadn't beaten Gen 4 at that point. And then Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, and like I was so excited for those games. I remember like planning out my teams, and like looking at game FAQs, trying to get the perfect team. And I was so excited for it because it was a remake of Gen 2, you know, which were my favorite ones, and it looks so good. And it came out, and I played through it one time, and then I pretty much never touched it again. And I kind of just forgot about Pokemon again. I was in high school at the time, so like I was kind of getting out of video games in general. So then Black and White came out, and I kind of went back in full force at that point. I played Black and White a lot, but I then tapered off again. So this is like kind of how it was for a while with Pokemon games. Like I would get super excited when they would come out, and I would play them a ton until like basically I beat them, and then I would just never look at them again. And Black and White 2 came out, I never beat them. I was starting college that year, and I just I just got pretty busy, honestly, and I didn't really like them too much at the time. I like them a lot now. And then X and Y came out, and then at that point I was like back in 100%. Like I played X more than I had played any games since like Gen 3. And I've been back in ever since. But I never really went back to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I'm gonna put this guy to sleep. Whenever I would want to go back and play Gen 2, I would play Gold and Silver because that's the one I had the most nostalgia for. So I haven't played Heart Gold and Soul Silver like since 2010 when they came out, and I just played them that one time. Now going back, I'm just like blown away all over again. Like these games are so good. I'm only in like the second gym in Soul Silver, and I've read up about like some of the differences and stuff. But man, they are so good. And it's probably a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I think graphically the game's peaked in Gen 4. Like I think Platinum and Heart Gold and Soul Silver look better than any Pokemon game. Black and White started going for like a pseudo 3D, and they also had the back sprites of the Pokemon animated, which made them very blurry because they weren't like JPEGs anymore. And I always hated how that looked. It's one of my like biggest hangups with Gen 5, and the only reason I don't like it more than I do is because the back sprite's terrible, and I also hate the starters in that gen. But yeah, I think that in Platinum and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, graphically the game's peaked. So it's just such like playing them on a DS Lite, like how they were meant to be played, was so incredible. Especially because it's like a remake of one of my favorite gens, which I have played many times throughout the years. I just never went back to the remake. And I mean, these like really are the best Pokemon games. It's funny, I've actually like really 180'd from my opinions on Pokemon when we first started Mr. Game & Beer 4 years ago. When Sun and Moon were coming out, I like put up a poll about what the best Pokemon gen was, and I like made a joke that like Gen 4 and 5 were like too bad to even be on the poll because like, you know, you only got like 4 poll options back then on Twitter, which is maybe the case now. I don't know. I haven't made a poll in a long time. But yeah, I like made some joke about how Gen 4 and 5 were just too bad, so there wasn't room on the poll for them. And now, like, I think Gen 4 is easily the best generation. Like, if you're including Platinum and Heart Gold and Soul Silver. If I was just going to take one game, I'd probably still take Gold and Silver just out of nostalgia. But I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver easily are the best generation. Followed by 3 and then 5. And that's not even definitive. Like, there are a lot of things I like better about Gen 5. I just really can't get past the back sprites looking so bad. It's just so ugly to look at to me. And it really takes me out of the experience. And I also really hate like every starter in that game, which makes it hard for me to want to replay. Like, if I can't even get excited about the first Pokemon I have, it makes it hard for me to play. Every other gen, there's at least one starter that I like, so yeah. Otherwise, I would rank it higher, basically. It is cool in that it's like the only gen where there was like an actual sequel story. I wish Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon would have been like that. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are one of the only like pairs of games I've never beaten. I've gotten maybe about halfway through Ultra Moon until I stopped and decided to go back to Gen 3 and like work my way up through all of the generations from there and like bring my team along the way. I kind of just stopped Ultra Moon and was like, hey, I'll come back to it when I get here, like on that playthrough. And that's what I'm doing now. I don't want it to take like forever, because I don't think we have forever until Pokemon Bank is eventually disabled, and then there's no way to get them all the way from Gen 3 to the current games. So that's why I put that playthrough on hold. Alright, let's see. There we go. Yeah, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and then Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Those are the only 2 pairs of games that I haven't beaten any of them in. I've played Alpha Sapphire for about 50 hours, according to my 3DS log. But I've started it over like 3 times. I've never actually gotten all the way through. I honestly just don't like it too much. Like, every time I'm playing them, I'm like, I would rather just be playing the Gen 3 games. Like, I'd rather just play Emerald. Or even Ruby and Sapphire. Because those games, I think, are also really ugly graphically. I really hate the, like, chibi art style they went with. I thought it fit better with X and Y, but I think I just, like, know Gen 3 better. So it looked worse to me. Like Gen 3, I have something to compare it to. When I compare Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire to like Ruby and Sapphire graphically, like there's just no question. I think Ruby and Sapphire looks 100 times better. But there are a lot of things I like about Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I like the deck snap, and I like the like added Pokemon, because there are some that have like their Gen 4 evolutions. So there's a lot of cool things about it. I do want to play them eventually. I know you can get a lot of the legendaries in there too, which is cool. So I plan to do that like as I'm going through all of these games. I'm only planning to play through on this channel like the Gen 3 stuff. Once I move on to Gen 4, I'm not planning to play it because I'm doing all of this on... I don't have any room for Body Slam, man. That really sucks. I really need this move. Body Slam is awesome because it has a little bit more power than Strength, but it also leaves the foe paralyzed. I don't have the place for it though. I need Strength as an HM. And I mean, it's too late now. I don't want to get rid of Yawn. That's really useful, and Rest and Snore is really useful. So I'm gonna have to forgo it, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm not planning to play through Gen 4 on this channel, or any of the higher ones, because I don't have a 3DS capture card. I'm not planning to get one. So there's no way for me to play it, unfortunately. Oh, I'm just always so worried they're going to use self-destruct. Yeah, I could always play them like emulating them. I want to play all of these games on the original cartridge so I can like bring them up to Pokemon Home. And I know I could do that emulated, like I could transfer them over using like a flashcard and stuff, but I don't want to have like any hiccups. I want to make sure 100% that all the Pokemon get through, don't get flagged, whatever. And also it just kind of feels more special to do it like on the actual hardware. And yeah, there's no good way to record DS games. I also kind of hate playing DS games on my computer. I would do it if like there's a DS game I really want to play, like on this channel or on Game & Beard or whatever. But I think they look like pretty bad blown up. Like I said, the DS Pokemon games I think are like the best, at least Gen 4 are like the best graphically speaking Pokemon games. And it's just a shame to like blow them up on the computer and make them look pretty bad. Alright, let's see. I feel like we've been fighting the same Pokemon over and over again because we have. Because that's how this route is. This has always been like my least favorite part of Gen 1. Is like after you beat Erica, now there's like 100 trainers to fight. I've never been thrilled about it, but it's necessary. Like you gotta beat all these guys, because if you don't, you're not gonna have the levels to go to Koga or Sabrina or whoever. Like we're only at 34. I think Koga, I mean, he's at least in the 40s. And I know like if we went to Silphco, they're also in the 40s, because I know at least that your rival, if I'm remembering right, has a level 40. Like his starter is level 40. So we beat everybody on that side. I am honestly having a little bit of trouble remembering which routes I already went to, unfortunately. I probably should have had like a checklist of them. Because it's been a week since my last episode of this. So I might have to go back and watch it before I catch any new ones. I'm pretty sure I caught... Let me look at my PC. That might actually spark my memory a bit. There were some routes I kind of gave up on though, because I looked it up and they didn't have any new Pokemon. So Goldeen, where was Goldeen? Alright, Venonat was on the route to the east here. I think the one directly to the east, we didn't get anybody on, but there wasn't any new ones. Goldeen... I don't know. That might be what we got in Fuchsia. That's probably what it was. Gyarados was like Route 12. Goldeen is probably what we got in Fuchsia. Safari Zone, I know that they got away. It was in Nidorina. I don't think we got anybody on Cycling Road, but there wasn't anybody on Cycling Road except for like Ditto. So I just kind of said forget it. Oh, I didn't realize I named Ghastly Gary and then Gyarados Gary. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think we technically could still catch somebody on the east route here outside of Fuchsia, and on the west route over like on Cycling Road, but I don't think that there was anybody to catch. Might as well try to take these guys out while we're here. These guys are water type users, and Snorlax here has very high special defense, so this is his area. The Tentacool will probably have some poison type moves which are physical, so there you go. Yeah, I know I've said it before, but you know, if you're just like checking in now and you haven't played Gen 3 in a while, there was no physical special split in Gen 3. So like Acid, even though nowadays that might be a special attack, I'm not actually sure. Back here, all poison type attacks were physical attacks, no matter what. It just was based on the type. Ice moves were all special, that's why that did like nothing. The first time they actually did the physical special split was in Pokemon XD with the shadow moves, apparently. I've never actually played Pokemon XD, so I don't really know anything about that. That's one I'm planning to play on this channel. Once we're done with Leaf Green, we're gonna go over to Coliseum. After Coliseum, we'll go to XD. Maybe a break between Coliseum and XD, because I know they're very similar. But yeah, I guess that's the first time they split them, and then Gen 4 is when they split them permanently on all moves. That's another thing that's like great about replaying Heart Gold and Soul Silver, is that I feel like there's so many Pokemon to use, because so many of them in Gen 2 weren't very good because there was no physical special split, like Feraligatr and Gyarados and Gengar all suffered from just being the wrong type, basically, for what their stats supported. In Gen 4, all of them all of a sudden became perfectly usable. There's way more than that, like Arcanine was the same way, Flareon. It really opened the door to a lot of like new Pokemon that would be fun to use. So I love using Feraligatr as my starter in Heart Gold and Soul Silver for that reason. The other ones are fun too. I don't think I've ever used Meganium in that game, but I like using there wasn't really any reason for me to heal, but whatever. I like using Typhlosion too, because you can teach him a lot of a variety of moves. Like you can teach him Sunny Day and Solar Beam. Probably can in Gen 2 also, I don't know. But then you can also teach him Focus Blast, which is a nice move that gives you some nice type coverage. Alright, so that was pretty much all of Cycling Road. Now we're going to be pretty much all Route 15 and I think 14. So that's all the time we have for today. Next episode, we'll take out all of these trainers, hopefully get those levels. Whether or not I go to Koga next or Silphco, I'm not sure. We might dabble in Silphco first, see how it is, maybe step out and go to Koga. But we'll see, because I am eager to get to Koga so that we can use Surf. That's really going to open up a lot of routes, so yeah. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you on the next episode.